Hello everyone, in this video let's discuss about the electronegativity, then difference between electronegativity, electron affinity, factors affecting upon electronegativity, what is the trend in group, in period, how the electronegativity value changes and scales of the electronegativity. These points I am going to discuss here. First of all, electronegativity is one of the periodic property of elements. Electronegativity means tendency of an atom to attract bonded electron towards itself. When an atom is there in a molecule and it is get attached with the covalent bond with the another atom, if it is get attached, so tendency of that atom to attract the bonded electron towards itself, that is the electronegativity. For example, HF, in HF there is a chemical bond between hydrogen and fluorine. Chemical bond means there is a presence of two electrons in between two atoms. These two electrons are get pulled towards the fluorine, so that's why we are calling fluorine is more electronegative. So electronegativity is nothing but the tendency of an atom to attract the bonded electron pairs towards itself in a molecule. Now second thing is the difference between the electronegativity and electron affinity. Okay, what is the difference? The points of differentiation are, the first one, electronegativity and electron affinity. The points of differentiation. First one, electronegativity is tendency to attract the electrons, but electron affinity, in earlier videos I said, electron affinity is the amount of energy released when electron is accepted by the neutral gaseous atom. So electron affinity is nothing but the tendency to accept the electron. Now the next one is, in case of electronegativity, it is a tendency of atom which is a bonded one, and electron affinity is the tendency of a isolated atom. That single isolated atom's tendency, that electron affinity is. Electronegativity is a relative property. Okay, the properties depends upon the another species, which is another is more electronegative or less electronegative. But the value released when we put electron in an atom is fixed one. So that is the value of electron affinity is the absolute value, and it's a relative value here in this case. Then if we observe the trend, so we observe that there is an irregularity in the values of electron affinity. Either we move from top to bottom or from left to right, irregularity is seen by us. But in case of electron affinity, comparatively a regular change in the values of electronegativity we are seeing. Okay, and the last one, there is no unit for the electronegativity. We know that if the property is relative property, there is a no unit, but electron affinity can be measured either in electron volt per atom or joule per atom or kilojoule per mole or kilocalorie per mole. Okay, please note it. After electronegativity, the next term is the factors affecting upon electronegativity. The first factor which affects upon electronegativity, factors affecting electronegativity. So the first factor which affects the electronegativity is the atomic size. So we know that smaller the atomic size, then what will happen? Distance between the nucleus and that bonded electron is lesser one. So smaller the atomic size, more will be the tendency to attract the electron towards itself. That's why atomic size is inversely proportional to the electronegativity. So either as we move from top to bottom, what will happen? Atomic size increases. So as compared to the lithium, sodium having less electronegativity, as compared to the sodium, potassium having the lesser electronegativity. Why? Because actually electronegativity is not property of an isolated atom, it should be in a bonded one. So suppose here lithium and these two bonded electrons are there. Here the sodium and bonded electron, potassium and these bonded electrons are there. So the nucleus of lithium and these bonded electron, this distance is lesser one. Screening effect is also less one. Inner shell electrons are less in case of lithium. Here there are the two shells act as obstacle. Here the screening effect is more one. So the conclusion is smaller the size, more the tendency to pull bonded electrons, and that's why the electronegativity is more. So electronegativity is inversely proportional to the atomic size. Then the second factor is effective nuclear charge. See students, either we are learning ionization potential, electron affinity or electronegativity. The factors which affect these properties are identical one, isn't it? That atomic size, screening effect, effective nuclear charge. Okay, these factors affect electronic configuration are there. Okay, so effective nuclear charge means what? The ability of nucleus to pull electron towards itself increases. The positive polarity of the nucleus increases. So effective nuclear charge, as the effective nuclear charge increases means what? Ability of nucleus to pull electron towards itself also increases. So electronegativity is directly proportional to the effective nuclear charge. Let's have an example of lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen. So what we are observing here, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen and fluorine and neon. Okay, now fluorine and neon. Here nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. Atomic numbers are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. This much number of the protons are there. Nuclear charge increases from left to right. So that's why ability to pull the electron increases. Smaller the size, more is the ability. We have seen just now. So here the fluorine is most electronegative amongst the second period elements. Smaller the size, more is the electronegativity. Now these are the general factors I discussed, and same is the trend as we move from left to right. Here electronegativity values increases up to the 17 group elements. Now the third factor is charge on cation. For example, suppose we are talking about the Cu plus 1 cuprous ion or Cu plus 2 cupric ion. We know that lower valency ends with OUS. This is cuprous ion, Cu plus 1. Higher valency ends with IC. It's a cupric ion. So if both are there in a different compounds, so which will pull electron more efficiently towards itself? Plus 1 or plus 2 ion with plus 2 charge, because electrons are the negatively charged and they will get pulled by the more positively charged ion. So here the conclusion is charge on the cation is directly proportional to the electronegativity value. Okay, electronegativity value. Then the next factor is charge on anion. So we know that anions are the negatively charged ions, and say for example somewhere in a compound we have O minus and O minus 2. So which will pull electron towards itself more? Already electrons are negative 1, and here there is a 2 minus charge, here there is a 1 minus charge. Okay now, so what will happen? Here already extra negative charge, so extra repulsion for the upcoming electron. So that's why tendency of O minus 2 is less as compared to the O minus to attract the electrons. So lesser the charge on anion, more is the electronegativity, because in that case there will be a lesser repulsion. So charge on anion is inversely proportional to the electronegativity value. Lesser the charge, more will be the electronegativity. Okay, minus 1 is less as the magnitude is concerned. Okay, now so student, charge, don't consider the sign, consider the magnitude. Now the next one is hybridization. In chemical bonding this point will come. If you have studied hybridization, it's well and good. If you have not studied in chemical bonding, the things will be clear. Okay, now hybridization. See, we know that in an atom centrally nucleus is there. Nucleus is surrounded by the shells. Shells are made up of subshells. Subshells are made up of the atomic orbitals that we studied. For atoms we studied. But see, in case of molecules, it is observed that these orbitals are of the different types. The primary types are S, P, D, F. These are the types of orbitals. but it is observed that the atom or orbitals are either sp orbital or sp2 orbital or sp3 orbital, and some more types of the orbitals are there. Sp orbital means what? Which is made up of by combination of one s and one p orbital. So sp orbital it is, which consists of percentage of s character is 50%, percentage of s character in sp2 is the 33.3%, percentage of s character in sp3 is 25%. So here as the percentage of, because s orbital is more near to the nucleus, okay, and its tendency to get attracted by the nucleus is more. Here the conclusion is that if the s character of orbital is more in that central atom, if the s character is more, then its electronegativity is also more. Okay, so sp hybridization correspond to more electronegativity of the atom, sp2 correspond to comparatively less, and sp3 correspond to the least among these three. So what should we conclude? More the percentage of s character, then more will be the electronegativity value of the corresponding atom. Okay, if you didn't study the hybrid orbitals, then you will get the idea. In chemical bonding, you will get the idea. So this is about the factors which are affecting upon the electronegativity. Factors are the general one, same factors I discussed earlier in electron affinity, and that one. Electronic configuration is also factor. See what happens as we move from left to right, then the subshells start to get filled completely, almost completely. So if the subshells are get completely, not completely filled, but near to the get completely filled, then what happens? Tendency to attract electron get more. For example, oxygen having 6 electrons in the last shell, having more tendency to attract electron, then fluorine having 7 electrons, it have a more tendency to attract electron, isn't it? That's why electronegativity value increases. Electronic configuration is also a little factor which affects. Now students, I explained three things: electronegativity definition, then electronegativity, electron affinity difference, factors affecting upon the electronegativity that I told. Now the next thing is trend about the electronegativity. Trend for electronegativity values. So we know that there is no such ups and downs and different variations because of the electronic configuration. We saw the different variations in ionization potential, electron affinity values. Such a variation is not observed here in case of electronegativity values. It's a simple one. In a group, what happens in a group? Top to bottom, electronegativity values decreases. Electronegativity value decreases. Why these values decreases? Reason is easy. From top to bottom, atomic size increases, effective nuclear charge decreases, screening effect increases. That's why top to bottom electronegativity decreases. Very easy. The elements in different groups are known to you. Then in a period, what is the trend? In a period, the trend is that as we move from left to right, electronegativity value increases. So electronegativity values increases. Why? Because left to right, atomic size decreases, effective nuclear charge increases, screening effect remains almost identical. So that's why electronegativity values increases as we move from left to right. Okay, up to the group number 17. Group number 18 elements, they are the stable one. No need to attract the electron. Okay. So this is about the general trend I told. So I hope the most important part of the topic I am going to, this electronegativity part I am going to explain in upcoming 2 minutes. Okay, what is that? We should know the electronegativity values. Okay, some important elements, their electronegativity values I am telling you. Here the period number 1, period number 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we have a hydrogen. Second period, here we have a lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. And neon noble gases here we have. Below to the fluorine, here we have a chlorine, then here we have a bromine, then here we have a iodine. Oxygen, sulfur, nitrogen, phosphorus, carbon, silicon. Okay, their electronegativity values I will tell. Fluorine is most electronegative element in the periodic table. As there are the different scales. That scales after some time I will explain. But the Pauling scale we are using significantly. So as per the Pauling scale, the value for the most electronegative element fluorine is assigned, that's the 4. So other values, let's note it: oxygen 3.5, nitrogen 3, carbon 2.5, boron 2, beryllium 1.5, and here it's a 1, 3.5, 2.5, 2, 1.5, 1. Hydrogen 2.1, phosphorus 2.1, then chlorine 3, bromine 2.8, and 2.5 is for the sulfur, 2.5 for the iodine, 2.5 for the carbon 2, and 1.9 is for the silicon. See what we were said, that left to right electronegativity increases. So from lithium to fluorine electronegativity increases, and fluorine to iodine electronegativity value decreases. Okay, so this is a general, these are the most some important for them electronegativity values I give. One more interesting thing, if we know the electronegativity values of the binary, both elements in binary compound, then we can determine the compound is either ionic or covalent, or how much ionic or how much covalent character that compound should. For example, if the compound is LiF, so lithium electronegativity 1, fluorine electronegativity 4, difference in electronegativities is of 3. Okay, if the difference in electronegativities is greater than 1.7, the compound shows more ionic characteristics. For example, LiF is more ionic because the difference in electronegativities of the constituting atoms is of the unit 3. Let's have another example. Say for example, here CH4. In CH4, carbon electronegativity 2.5, hydrogen electronegativity 2.1. So the difference in electronegativity is of the 0.4. Okay, 0.4 units, because no any specific unit for electronegativity. As the difference in electronegativity is of the less than 1.7, the compound is covalent in nature. It's a more covalent. If the electronegativity difference is greater than 1.7, the compound is ionic. Electronegativity difference is less than 1.7, compound is covalent. If the electronegativity difference is exactly 1.7, the compound shows 50% ionic and 50% covalent characteristics. So this is about the trend. In a group, electronegativity value top to bottom decreases, and left to right in a period electronegativity value increases. So let's move towards the climax of today's lecture, that is different scales for the electronegativity. Scales used for determination of electronegativity values. So first scale given by the scientist Pauling. So commonly we use this scale. This scale, say for example, a chemical compound AB. A is one atom, B is another atom. So this scale told us that difference in electronegativity values of A and B. Okay, now zeta A, zeta B, difference in electronegativity values of A and B equal to 0.208 into square root of delta E. Here the delta E is nothing but the actual bond energy minus the theoretical bond energy. Now bond energy means what? Amount of energy required to break the 1 mole of the bond, or whenever the bond is get formed, amount of energy released. That's the bond energy. So bond energy, actual bond energy is nothing but the EAB. Okay, you may consider either when A and B unite together, energy released is bond energy, or we have a 1 mole of AB, so as to separate them, amount of energy required is the bond energy. So it's the actual bond energy minus theoretical bond energy. How it is determined? So as to determine theoretical bond energy, we should take the bond energy for bond AA. Okay, now we should take a molecule A2. So as to break the A2 molecule, amount of energy required here we should take, and it should be multiplied by BB, means B2 molecule we should take, amount of energy required to break that B2. So here we should put this delta E here. In this equation we should put delta E. So the equation will become 0.208 into square root of here AB, bond energy for AB, minus square root of EAA into EBB. Okay, so here we use these values when these bond energies are in calorie per mole if the bond energies are in kilocalorie per mole, and if the given bond energies are in kilojoule per mole, so at that time kilojoule per mole, if the bond energies are given in kilojoule per mole, then this XA minus XB can be determined by the formula. See, this is for the XA minus XB. XA minus XB equal to 0.1017 into root EAB minus here bond energy, AA bond energy into BB bond energy. So this formula is used. Okay. Either see directly we can use the formula. Difference in electronegativities of A and B equal to 0.208 into square root of bond energy for AB minus square root of bond energy for AA into bond energy of AB, and instead of 0.208, if we put 0.1017, we will get the values in kilojoule per mole. Okay, so this is about the first Pauling scale. Then the next scale used for electronegativity is the Mulliken scale, which is easy one. According to the Mulliken scale, that electronegativity of an atom equal to its ionization energy value plus its electron affinity value divided by 2. We know that different units we use for the ionization energy, electron affinity. So both should be measured in electron volt per atom. So whatever the value of ionization potential as well as electron affinity in electron volt per atom we should put here, and we should do sum of these two values, and if we divide it by 2, ultimately whatever the value we get, that is the electronegativity value by the Mulliken scale. And the third one, which is not common, but that scale is given by Alred-Rochow scale. This scale tells us that electronegativity is equal to 0.359 Z upon R square plus 0.744. So this formula is given. Z is nothing but the effective nuclear charge. R is the covalent radius in angstrom. Okay, 1 angstrom is equal to 10 raised to minus 10 meter. So electronegativity of atom is equal to 0.359 effective nuclear charge divided by the R square, that is covalent radius square, that is in angstrom. Okay students, so I explained first of all definition of electronegativity, difference between electronegativity and electron affinity. Then we saw factors affecting upon electronegativity. Then we discussed about the trend in top to bottom, left to right, what happens, some specific elements, their electronegativity values as per Pauling scale I gave. And lastly, 3 different scales we saw: Pauling scale, Alred-Rochow scale, and Mulliken scale we saw. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye all of you.